katbell.com, and I'm an artist, writer and speaker dedicated to inspiring self-love, growth and living an unapologetic life. Today I want to talk about mindfulness and 3 benefits for self-love and 1 for creatives that I personally have experienced and know to be true. So before you watch this video, I hope that you are cozying up or at least comfortable as you watch it, because this is supposed to be fun, and I hope that whatever you learn or hear, that you can take something away with you today. I recently picked up a book by Hal Elrod, I hope that's the right name, and it's called The Miracle Morning, and it's a fantastic book. If you're interested in how to create a morning routine that really serves you in your life, then I would totally recommend buying it. What I realized when I was reading it though was that the first 6, the main components of the book, like the 6 things to do in the morning, that they were so logical in a sense. They're things, and I'm not going to repeat them now, but they're things that are so known about, so read about, and I know that you've read about each and every single one, and if you're anything like me, that you've read of them so often that by now you're actually rolling your eyes thinking, how is this going to help me? I've heard of this, I've read of this so many times, this is not going to work for me now. But the truth is, at least for me, all I've been doing is reading about it instead of doing it. So I would read about meditation, I would read about going for walks daily, I would read about journaling, I would read about all these things that seemed so simple that they weren't exciting enough, I guess, or dramatic enough to inspire action. In the case that you ever feel like that you've heard about it so many times, but deep down you know you've never really given it a chance, maybe this is the video you needed to watch to really go back and do one of those things that you know inside will probably make a big change in your life. Before I go into the 3 benefits, or 4 actually, I checked out the Oxford English Dictionary for you and looked up what the definition of mindfulness is. Mindfulness is a state of being both fully aware of the moment and of being self-conscious of and attentive to this awareness. This is the general idea, or this is the definition I'm going by in this video. So the first one is that you're noticing the scripted reality in your head faster. We all know these reality TV shows where people come and yell at each other the entire time, and then this X meets that X, and then it just all blows up. In our heads, it can often be the same. We all have these voices in our head, or voice, I will not judge, that constantly try to recreate those drama TV shows. Even though I know it's fun to binge on them sometimes, it's not a lot of fun having it in your head 24/7. This can look like waking up and the first thing you think is, oh my god, I didn't get up early enough. You go into this spiral of tearing yourself down. And this can happen with whatever you do. This can happen when you're working, or when you're with people, or when you're doing something that really matters to you, and you might even not be doing what really matters to you because the voices have brought you down so much that you're not even attempting to do what's important to you. Mindfulness can help you notice this quicker and gives you the space to turn it around. Suddenly you can choose to talk to yourself in a different way. Suddenly you can empower yourself in your head rather than tearing yourself down. The second benefit that you can have from a mindfulness practice is that you can separate the critic from yourself and practice compassion. Once you have learned to notice when your scripts start playing, you'll be able to distill that voice, that inner critic, from who you are. Because in truth, that voice is not you. It is everything that you have picked up along the way that is not serving you, or that is full of fear, or that is full of the programming of the world in a way that it doesn't help you live a better life. Now, I'm not saying that the inner critic is out to destroy you, even though it might feel like that sometimes, but it is full of fear. When we isolate the voice, we can do that in a way that we can visualize it as something that we could have compassion for. Some people like to split that voice and give it a shape, or give it a name, or visualize it actually, or cut out a picture of someone who you think would be that voice. Then you can enter a dialogue with it where you can start talking back. You can start treating that voice like a friend who started listening to the wrong people and got on the wrong track. You wouldn't shout at that person, probably, and you wouldn't treat her badly. You would treat her with love and understanding, but also with firm boundaries, saying that where you have gone, that is not the right way to go, at least not for me, so I don't want to go there anymore. And then you can bring that voice around. She can become a fantastic guidance system that helps you know when some things don't feel right, but that doesn't tear you down when you are trying to live your best life. Side benefit, not only will you start reconnecting with yourself and mending that relationship with yourself, it would also be the basis of how you can treat other people better, because as soon as you are kinder, more understanding and compassionate to yourself, it will naturally extend to other people. The third benefit is probably the most important one. At least it has been in my life. When you are mindful, you are able to reconnect with your feelings and your body. We have this expression that when you're listening to your body, you're listening to your gut instinct. Many of us have lost this connection or don't trust it anymore, or constantly override it, so in the end, we don't even know what it feels like anymore. This leaves us very vulnerable to manipulation and beliefs that don't serve us. In a metaphorical sense, we have forgotten the language our body speaks, and we are now unable to understand the signals it's sending us. So we know that our body is saying something, or we know that our instinct is telling us something, but we're not able to understand it, and also we're not able to trust it or rely on it anymore because we have lost that connection and broken the relationship. Being mindful or doing a mindfulness practice that targets this can really help you reconnect with your feelings and your inner guidance system. And your body and your intuition will start warning you, they will start guiding you towards things that you want more of and protecting you from things you want less of. But that only works if you actually are able to understand your language again, your body language again, and your intuition again, and trust it as well. In my life, learning to listen to my body again and trusting that intuition and gut instinct again was probably the thing that I'm benefiting from the most. And now the bonus benefit, or the benefit for creatives, is that it actually really helps your creativity and opens you up to inspiration. I used to hate when people said that all the inspiration you need is found in nature, because I would go outside and I think, where is it? Great, this does not inspire me. For me, it was really hard to get that concept. So I want to tell you a little story about how I had my first moment where I realized how true it is. I had to write a paper abstract for university for a conference, and up until near the last day before deadline, I didn't know what I was going to write about. I just didn't know what to do. I went to my favorite place in the forest near the house, and there's this beautiful stream, and I took my blanket with me and I took a flask of tea and I sat down and I said, okay, everybody's saying that you're inspiring and that if I sit in nature and if I observe, then that I will be inspired and that will help me. So now I'm here, I'm observing, now you better inspire me. And suddenly I noticed this bird flying near a tree near where I was lying, and it reminded me of, I think the right word is hummingbirds, and that reminded me of the concept that if a butterfly flaps its wings, that wind could turn into a tornado somewhere else. And that brought me to chaos theory and the butterfly effect, which for the paper I was writing was the perfect idea, and that approach hadn't been written about before. And suddenly there I was, lying in my blanket in the middle of the forest, looking at a bird, and I knew what to write about. Ever since that moment, I got it. I got that being inspired does not mean that someone will come and tell you what to do. This can be walking and for the first time noticing that your favorite tree actually grows just around the corner. And this happened to me. I never saw it. I've been living here for 10 years and I never knew that we had ginkgo trees just around the corner of my house. It can be noticing how a rock is shaped or the texture. Those are ways that you can be inspired that come through observation. Ever since I was able to notice, I know that my art has gotten stronger because of it. I know that my life has become more peaceful and fulfilled and happier because of it. And I know that I would never want to miss that again. And to close here, I'd like to read to you what I wrote about mindfulness myself, and because I can never say it as eloquently as I wrote it back then, I want to read it out to you. Mindfulness gives you the space and the awareness that makes you feel alive and aware of the magic that is happening around you. Suddenly, every flower will leave you in awe, and you will notice the seasons, the people around you, and you will also notice yourself, but with love. It's time to say goodbye for this video. I hope that there was something that you could take away from it, and I wish you a fantastic day and hope to see you soon. And until then, I leave you with lots of hugs and lots of kisses.